guys, so we're starting day two of lesson 9.1. So it's kind of a continuation of what we did yesterday. So we're getting a little more in depth. A couple things I wanted to remind you of. So this is quadratics. This is a graph of a quadratic. What we've already learned this year is a straight line is linear. And then this rapid increase or decrease, depending, is exponential. So these are the three types of graphs. Linear, you should know, is like mx plus b. So you have a y-intercept. Exponential is just x squared. And our quadratics is in the standard form. So ax squared plus bx plus c. So those would be the differences. You can really see this one is like repeated multiplication. So this is addition or subtraction. This is multiplication or division. Exponential, and then the quadratics we'll talk more about. All right, so we did our vocabulary, and now we're going to talk a little more. So this is 9.1, graphing quadratics functions, day 2. So all we're doing today is we're going to find our vertex. As a reminder, standard form looks like this, where you need to know what the A, B, and C are. All right, so the first thing you need to do is to find your X value by this formula. So you'll definitely need your calculators. To find your Y, you'll substitute that value back into the equation. And then your answer is written as an ordered pair. All right. So here's our first equation. I need to identify my A, B, and C here. My A is 1, because there's a 1 that sits in front. My B would be that -6. I'm looking at the standard form. And my C is also -6. Again, to find our vertex, now that I have all of those identified, is to use that following formula up here. So X equals a -b, so that would be a -6, divided by 2 times my A, which is 1. Now, when you're calculating this on a calculator, you need to do these separately. So a -6 in your calculator should give you a +6. 2 times 1 is 2. And now you can say, what is 6 divided by 2? And that should give you 3. So that's my X. To find my Y, I'm going to substitute this back into this equation where these X's are. So I'm going to say 3 in parentheses squared minus 6 times 3 minus 6. And that will give me my Y. Use your calculators. Parentheses 3 squared minus 6 times 3 minus 6. And that gives me a -15. I'm going to box that off, and I think I'm going to box this guy off here. So my Y is -15. So here's my vertex, that ordered pair. Now I need to decide, does it have a minimum or maximum, or does it go up or down? And that depends on your A. Is it positive or negative? So my A is positive. That means it's going upwards. My vertex would be right there, so that is a minimum. And we're done. Let's try this next one. Identify your A, B, and C. My A is -2. My B is 8, and my C is -9. So again, to find my x, I'm going to use this formula up here, negative b divided by 2 times a. I'm going to do these separately. Negative 8 divided by a negative 4 gives me a positive 2. That's my x value. To find my y, I'm going to substitute this 2 back into this equation. So negative 2, x is going to be 2 squared plus 8 times 2 minus 9. Again, from substituting this value up here into this, back into this equation to get my y. And then again, all I do, I use my calculator, negative 2 parentheses 2 squared plus 8 times 2 minus 9, and I get a negative 1. So that's my ordered pair. Now, is my A positive or negative? It's negative. If it's negative, it's going to go downwards and have a maximum because it's going downwards, and here's my vertex, and that's a maximum value. Let's do number 3. My A is 2, my B, negative 4, my C is negative 9. X is equal to a negative B, so a negative 4, divided by 2 times my A, which is 2. Negative 4 is 4. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1. So my vertex is 1 for my X. For my Y, I'm going to substitute that in. 2 times 1 squared minus 4 times 1 minus 9. Punch that into your calculator. I got negative 11, and hopefully you did too. So now I have my X and Y. That's that vertex. So, is my A positive or negative? My A is positive. That means it's going upwards. So if I draw a picture of it going upwards, I would know my vertex would be my minimum. This last one looks a little bit different. So if I was looking at ax squared plus bx plus c, I have an A, so that's 2, but I don't have a B, so we're going to put 0. And then my C is negative 1. No big deal. Let's find that vertex. X is equal to B, which is 0, or negative 0, which there is no such thing. It's just 0. And then 2 times my A, which is 2. In your calculator, if you would put 0 divided by 4, it's going to give you 0. So my X is 0. Now I'm going to substitute that 0, no different than anything else, back into that original equation for the X, and say 2 times 0 squared minus 1. So Y equals 0 squared is 0, 2 times 0 is 0, and then 0 minus 1 is negative 1. Okay, so that's my vertex. My A is positive, so that means it's going upwards. And picture time, vertex is down there, so it's a minimum. All right, so that is your assignment today. You have a Google form and a worksheet that goes with that Google form. So pay close attention to the directions and email if you have any questions.